Today I'll be briefing on behavior and effective care at the lab, solving division problem. And my name is Larry Wells. I have two subjects for today. I have an 8-year-old female going to the 3rd grade and a 9-year-old male going to the 4th grade. Today I'll be using primary theoretical framework be social cognitive theory, which has 3 parts to it: personal determinant, environmental determinant, and behavior determinant. The way I measure behavior will be using a interval time sampling data form to measure behavior, and I'll also be using to track self-efficacy, which is confidence in one's ability to complete assigned tasks. I'll be the Likert type scale. My hypothesis is that there'll be negative correlation between self-efficacy and off-task behavior. As self-efficacy increases, I expect for off-task behavior to decrease. So let's get started here. First, I did a pre-survey to find out where the self-efficacy was by asking them a question on a Likert type scale. So I asked the 8-year-old female how did she think she did division problem. She scored a 1, which says she strongly disagreed that she could do any division problem at the time. I asked the 9-year-old male. He said has high self-efficacy when it came to doing division problem. Okay. So I gave the pre-test to the 8-year-old, and she wasn't able to do any, and that stands to reason because she's not that she had not been exposed to division problem. Also, she's not that fluent in multiplication, so she didn't understand the relationship between multiplication and division. The 9-year-old who's been exposed to division and also has a very fluent in his multiplication fact, he scored a high self-efficacy. But when he was given the pre-test, and we looked at his behavior, he was 44% off task solving the behavior problem. He said things like, I don't know how to do this, I don't want to do this. Even though he scored a high self-efficacy on the Likert type scale, he showed somewhat of a lower self-efficacy based on his comments when he took the pre-test. So I was not able to do any pre-tests on the 8-year-old because she didn't know the divisional facts. Okay. So then I jumped to my description of intervention. I used 2 types of intervention. I used modeling, which I showed them how to do it, and I used the vehicle for that was I do, we do, they do model at the time. So then I turned around to show them how I did a problem, they did a problem, we did a problem, then they solved problems on their own. Then I went from there. I used scaffolding to give them 2 practice worksheets to work on, and I watched them solve problems, and then I turned around and I provided support as needed. So that worked out well, and then the results of my intervention was that the 8-year-old female, she increased her self-efficacy. She went from a 1 to a 4, where the 9-year-old, he still made high self-efficacy on his understanding of division problem, his ability to do division problem. The 9-year-old male, since I had some information about his behavior, his initial behavior was at 44%, but after the intervention of modeling and scaffolding, it went from 44% to almost 17%. So it was a decrease of about 27% in this behavior, off-task behavior, which is good. S1 off-task behavior decrease was directly related to its increase in self-efficacy, which was driven by the intervention that was presented. S2 self-efficacy increase probably had more to do with environmental determinants than behavior determinants. If I had to make some adjustments for ESC or ELL student, provide fewer problems or more problems depending on the student, I might give them more time to do the problem, or provide alternate or non-traditional type of instruction during the problem. Might provide some peer-to-peer learning, give them more breaks. Depending on the ESL student, accommodation provide more or less support depending on the student. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you. Bye.